because I trust you enough that when I change, if something goes wrong, I trust you to handle it. And that's why I change. It's necessary to trust, because when you change, nothing is familiar. So you're very nervous. You're very scared. So you have to be able to trust. Now, here is the problem. The problem is we put our trust in flesh. And let me just bless you right quick. I put no confidence in the flesh. I cannot trust your flesh by itself. For everybody in a relationship, let me tell you why you need God in your life. Because when you go to choose somebody for your life to hook up with, to be your husband, to be your wife, you cannot trust the flesh. Let me tell you why. Because flesh is weak, flesh gets weary, flesh gets tired. Is there anybody in here that's really going to be real with me this morning? Don't you get tired in your flesh? Don't you get tired of going through the same stuff? Don't you get tired? Don't you get weary? Don't you get weak? If somebody cuts you, you're going to bleed red blood. In other words, what did that say? Flesh is not dependable. Now, why do I need God? Because if I have God in me and it's God in them, I'm not trusting your flesh. I'm not trusting you. I'm trusting the God in you. See, I put no confidence in the flesh. I can't trust your body. Your body sends you to some crazy places. Your body have you doing some crazy things. I can't trust your flesh. But now, if you got God in you, I know you'll love me right, because God gonna make you love me right. That's why I need God. I can't trust your flesh by itself. It has to be God down in you that makes me trust you. And the problem is, we try to put our confidence in flesh. So I changed for my boyfriend, but my boyfriend is not walking with God. So I end up bitter and sad, because what I thought was going to happen usually ends up not happening if God is not in the equation. I want to minister to some real people. So I changed for flesh, but it does not work because flesh cannot be trusted. But let me tell you what you ought to do. You ought to learn to trust in God, because if I change for God, I know that if something does go wrong, I got somebody that can help me keep it together. Are you walking with me? So now I have to trust God enough to say, now God, I believe what you said, and not only do I believe it, but I trust in it. In other words, I know it's going to happen because you said it was going to happen. So now I change my course of action. I change my direction based on my trust in God, because I know if something happens, he's going to take care of me. Oh my God. And this is how. So trust in God makes change possible. You can't trust flesh. You have to trust God, because trust gives me the inner confidence to move on what God has said. Now, I don't have to worry about it, because I know that God is going to bring it to pass. This is how Paul is able to say, not as though I have attained, but I'm on my way. See, he says, I haven't made it there yet, but I'm on my way. I haven't got there yet. I haven't got to the promised land, but I believe God enough to move on what he said. Even though I haven't made it there, I'm on my way. And you ought to just tell somebody, I might be going through something, but I'm on my way somewhere. I'm going through some stuff, but I'm going through it for a reason, and I understand that because I trust God. Is there anybody in here that trusts God like I do? I can't live my life anymore without God being a part of everything that I do. I trust God. I might be going through something, but I'm on my way somewhere. I trust God enough. This is how Paul is able to say that I'm not as though I have attained, but I'm chasing that has caught me. I'm trying to catch the one who caught me. Is there anybody in here that can really just be truthful and honest about it and say, I did not go looking for God. I was pretty fine over there in the corner partying by myself. I was having fun. I didn't go looking for God. God came looking for me. And now that he's found me, now I have to drive to search after the one who caught me. Now, he says, not as though I have attained, but I'm on my way. He says, one thing I do. Did anybody read their Bible? I forget the things that are behind. I have to let it go. Tell somebody, say, let it go. Let it go. Forget the things that are behind. Here is the problem with the children of Israel. Their minds are still in Egypt. They left it, but their mind is still there. You got to tell somebody, forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Just forget it. Let it go. And then once you let it go, forget it. Get it out your mind. Let it go. You walk away and then forget it. Get it out your mind. Forget those things that are behind, those old habits. Just let them go and forget them. Them old ways, even them old folk. Let them go and then forget them. And let them go and then forget them. Leave it right where it is, because I got to change some stuff. And I'm reaching forth. I'm reaching forth. He says, I forget the things that are behind me, and I'm reaching for things in front of me. I'm reaching. You know what? Sometimes what I do when I'm walking my son in from the car, I have his hand, and we're walking, and he's looking behind him. And many of the times what he does is he trips, but he trips on a crack. He trips on a crack. Now, if he would have been paying attention, he would have missed the crack. But because he was looking behind him, he tripped on a crack. Now, look at the church people nowadays. The problem is we're so busy looking at stuff in the rearview mirror that we can't focus on the things that's in front of us, and something that should not have tripped us up has tripped us up because we're looking in the wrong direction. Oh, can I just bless somebody? He says, I'm reaching for the future. I'm reaching for what's in front of me. I'm not worried about those things that are behind me no more, because guess what? You can't change your yesterday, but you can change your tomorrow. So I need to forget about yesterday. Whatever mistakes I made yesterday, I just made them mistakes. But today is a new day. I don't have to make them same mistakes that I made yesterday. I can make some different choices today. I reach for the things. Everything that God said I can have, I'm reaching for it. If he said I can have money, I'm reaching for it. If he said I can have peace, I'm reaching for it. If he said I can have joy, I'm reaching for it. If he said I could be happy, I'm reaching for it. Forget yesterday. It's time to push towards your purpose. Oh, come on, Ken, let's have some church. Come on, Ken, let's have just a little bit of church. I'm reaching for my future. He said, I'm reaching for my future. I'm reaching for the things in front of me. Now watch what he does. He moves from reaching to pressing. Come on, Ken, let's have some church. He moves from reaching to pressing. Why does Paul move from reaching to pressing? I want to bless somebody. Why does Paul have to move from reaching to pressing? And the reason is because I can sit down in my seat and reach for my future, but sometimes things may be a little bit too rough and I can't reach no more. But what I have to do is make up in my mind, I'm not reaching no more. I've got to press. Is there anybody in here that made up in your mind, I've got to press? I'm going to press my way until I break through to the other side. Paul says, I'm not reaching no more, but I made up in my mind, I'm going to press. I'm going to press. I'm going to press. I'm pressing through what looked like a barrier will turn into a bridge. If I keep on pressing, I've got to press through. Tell somebody the blessing won't come if it's easy. Everything that's easy will leave easy. But some stuff I've got to make up my mind. I'm going to press. I begin to feel pretty good. I'm going to press through until my children come out. I'm pressing through till my marriage starts to work. I'm pressing through till my finances change. I'm pressing through till I get the job. I'm pressing. I'm pressing. Yes, I'm pressing. I made up in my mind. The devil can't stop me. I'm pressing through. I'm pressing through. I came to bless somebody. Stop waiting for folk to make your life work. You've got to get up from where you are and make your life work for yourself. God says, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. That gives me